now we're at the time where the Hamashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shalom, Yasharel. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom, Israel.
Hey, on just a little tad early, but we're gonna put the one in there already. All right, good deal. Wanted to bring you something, little something. If y'all want to call in as well, you're more than willing to. Feel free to do so. We'll put the link in the chat box. Going to talk about this crazy holiday, this Christmas that so many of our people love to celebrate. They love it, love it, love it, love it. These jokers can't even look. They can't even wait. They can't even wait for this year to come before they be out there just headlong, spending money they ain't got.
Man, let me find out, man. Man, you know, it's a difficult time though amongst our people because a lot of our people, they might feel ostracized if they don't celebrate these holidays, and because they see it so much of around, right? Everywhere you go out, right, you see these folks, they out here with the little lights and Christmas trees going on and the little cheer everybody got in the air, and all of this stuff, right? So it's really hard to really us as a people, for us to lock in and keep these commandments, right? Because when you see everything going on around you, it may seem on the outside that, hey man, there's nothing wrong with, y'all got y'all little big tam around or whatever y'all got going on, get together with some family time and, share presents, right? It may not seem like a bad thing on the outside, right? But all these things are pagan holidays, pagan traditions, and things that we should stay away from, right? What looks good on the outside is not always good for the soul. Right. Even though, somebody may say that pig may taste good, bacon is great. Right. But it still makes your soul abominable. It's the same thing with celebrating any of these pagan holidays or holidays, as Brother Danny likes to say. Right. Because it invokes a wickedness. Right. It invokes the sin of the highest nature. Right. Which is idolatry. Right. Going after God.
That's right, and this is what sets us apart as a holy people, that we refrain from these things. All right, all through the scriptures, our people were told, you shall not intermingle and serve these other nations' gods. All right, and like Brother Eitan was stressing earlier, that a lot of the pressures are on our people. But again, this is what's going to set you apart. This is what's going to make you strong. And this is what's going to separate the wheat from the tare, because you, as a brother and a sister, you're going to have to be that light to your family members, your co-workers, what have you, to your other brothers and sisters. It ain't going to always be easy because you're going to feel alienated, all right? Even with your family members, especially if you're keeping the commandments with all your heart and your soul and mind, and you don't participate in these things, don't even fall into the temptation and taking your kids over to on these holidays. Because guess what? When you do that, you're participating. And before Eitan brings that out, I just want to share something right quick so that the Most High meant what he says, all right? And of course, this is something that you all should know. Exodus chapter 20 and starting with verse 3, it says, "You shall have no other Elohims or gods before me. You shall not make unto you any graven image, or any likeness, anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow yourself to them, nor serve them." What do you do when you put a Christmas tree up? You're serving it. What do you do when you celebrate Thanksgiving? You're serving the heathens' gods. And this is a very serious note, because too many of our people like to compromise. And so because they feel like they don't want to be left out, they may sneak a pork or two or something like that, you know, or they may go over the in-laws' house for a Christmas dinner, you know. But you got to be strong. You got to resist. You know, the scripture says, "Resist the devil, and he shall flee from you."
That's right. God.
Bring
Right. So and I don't know what Brother Daniel was saying, right? During these times, the festive times that you look around, you see all these heathens out there look like they're having fun, and even your own people, right? The ones that are ignorant to the laws, statutes, and commandments. You got to remember, like scriptures like Exodus 33, where it says, "For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight?" Now, the ones that have found grace in the Most High's sight is the what? It's the ones that are repentant amongst our people, right? Those that are asking the Most High to forgive them of their sins, and then they turn away from their sins into a new way of life.
That's right.
You've been baptized by the word. It says, "Is it not, and thou goest with us? So shall we be separated, I and thy people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth." Now, I know we can't physically be separated from the heathens that are around us, but we see that from the beginning, we're supposed to be separate, right? So even though you look out amongst, right, your neighbors, amongst the various cities that you guys live in, you're going to look around, you're going to see all this, you know, festive times and, you know, chocolate and candles and, you know, and you know, festive times where they're eating foods. It looks great on the outside, right? But on the inside, you got to remember that you are separate from all the people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right? And I'm gonna tell you something, Yasharel. When you really keeping these commandments, and when you been keeping these commandments for a while, like me and Brother Eitan has, the days get to a point where it doesn't even faze you anymore. Like today, I was grinding in. I was on my property working. Wasn't even thinking about this holiday. You know what I'm saying? So every year it's to the point where I don't even acknowledge these days anymore, because I am so in tune with the scriptures and with the grace and the commandments of the Almighty Yahweh, that it doesn't even come to my mind. And, you know, I'm not reminded of it until I go out and I see, you know, people got the Christmas lights going on in their yards and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay. You know, it's this time of the year again. So,
God.
But, you know, the more you practice righteousness and you practice obedience to the Most High, the easier it will be to resist all these other things. All right, you'll know how to cipher to your family members. Hey, we don't support this. Now, if you want to come to my house on the Feast of Tabernacles, you're more than welcome.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Invite them to the feast of the Most High,
and have your house decorated. Right, have your house, you know, lit up, you know, with during the feast, so it makes it they understand that this is the festive time that is supposed to be for you and your people. Right? Don't you know, don't just be like, well, you know, I'm celebrating this day, and then all of a sudden they come over and it just feels like it's just another day.
Make sure it's lit up with the menorah, and not some Christmas trees, and you got Christmas tree lights strung up all over the ceiling. They'd be like, Brother Eitan said I can light my house up during the feast days, having Christmas trees out and stuff.
Nah, yeah, man, y'all boys going, yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
God. Right, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't, you know, put up decorations to what that is, you know, pertaining to the feast days, right? That's then what the feast days mean. All right, where you want to go, brother?
So, Yasharel, let me let's go here. Let's go to Deuteronomy 7 right quick, because I want to show you something. What the Most High commanded us to do with these idols. All right, so let's go Deuteronomy 7:25. All right. Oh, wrong one. All right, Exodus 7.
God. And while Brother Daniel's pulling that up, right?
All right, there we go.
Got it. All right, Con, go ahead, brother.
Finger slipping. All right, so Deuteronomy 7:25, it says, "The graven images of their Elohim or their gods shall ye burn with fire. You shall not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto you, lest you be snared therein, for it is an abomination to Yahweh, Elohim." You know, so you got to understand, everything the Most High told us to do was for a reason. You know, and why was it that every time that our people got enticed, the first thing they do is they started worshiping the other nations' gods? You know, what was so special about these images, about these idols, that our people fell headlong first to that? You know, they lusted after the heathens. They wanted to do the things after the heathens. They weren't satisfied with the feast that the Most High has already provided for them. And this is why the Most High had to allow them to get struck down, go into captivity several times. It says, "Neither shall you bring an abomination into your house, lest you be a cursed thing like it, but you shall utterly detest it, and you shall utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing." Not just a Christmas tree, but you ought to just examine anything that you might have in your house that you might not be aware of. Do some research on it. You know, a lot of our brothers and sisters, they like to have these little nicklets. You know what I'm talking about, right? That like the little African heads and stuff like that. Hamite heads with the nose rings and stuff like that. I used to see a lot of our people with those little nicklet heads up in their houses. I'm like, man, y'all need to get that mess out or burn it.
God.
You know, or they may have symbols that you may know about. That's why it's best to like study up on these pagan symbols, because a lot of them have pagan roots and goes all the way back to Nimrod and further back and everything. And these idols are against the Almighty. So, you know, we are commanded to destroy them, burn them. All right. If you got an old Christmas tree in your house, ever since you repented, you need to take that thing somewhere and burn it. Don't give it away. Don't give it away. Don't give it to the other brothers so they can be wicked. Just burn it. What you got, brother?
Nothing. I'll just laugh because man, you know, you be wild a lot. You know, like you know, so the basic the spirit of Christmas, right? You know, as the lesson is titled. We got to look on what's really going on, right? You know, they try to tell you at one point in time that this is supposed to be, you know, based upon sweet baby Jesus, right? Lying in the manger in the middle of in the dead of winter, right? We have to really examine everything that we're told, because we got to understand that only 12% of the population, right? What these people are doing around us, they don't have our best interests at hand.
Nope.
Right? And they don't care about our people, right? It's up to us to seek out where our origins come from, right? Where we originate from. You know, it's up to us to search these scriptures out and to understand that we're not supposed to be celebrating any of these days, any of these holidays, or things that, you know, appear on the outside to make you feel good, right? Because on the deeper level, where it concerns your soul, this is wickedness, right? Even though it may not seem like it. Some people, well, you know, like, what's the harm of, you know, we're just gathering together our people, we're just getting together. Well, the harm about it is the Most High says don't do it.
That's right.
Right? The harm about it is the Most High says don't do it. So even in the scriptures, they even from far back, right? This is you know, this is a ancient a day of idolatry, really, when you look at it, because it dates back to Nimrod, right? When it comes back to sun worship and how he was supposed to be reborn, and they planted a fir tree and they put presents under the tree every year during the winter solstice, right? So during Jeremiah 10, where what says, "Hear ye the word of the Yahuwah," right? Or Yahweh speaks unto you, O house of Yasharel, Israel. Thus says Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, right? For the heathen are dismayed at them, right? For the customs of the people are vain, right? Because they need to look at this certain star signs, right, and how the weather patterns were going out to understand that what was the different solstice that would come around during the seasons, right? Just like they do today, right? It says, for the customs of the people are vain. For one cuts a tree out the forest, right? The work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails. I mean, like, what does that sound like? That sounds like the exact same thing that we're doing today, right? They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it moves not, right? But today you have the same thing, right? When you put your little tree in the little tree holder, let me find out y'all out there with a Christmas tree, right? If you got family that's out there doing that, right? It's the same thing. Nowadays, you don't have to fasten with hammers and gold because we have better technology, but the same, right? But the same similarities to then and now are the same, right? It moves not. They are upright as a palm tree and speak not, but their knees be born because they cannot go. They be afraid of them, for can they not do evil? Neither also is them to do good. Because what? A tree is just, it doesn't do anything. Just like when the Most High tells you you don't have any idols, right, or any graven images, because those are dead. They have no will, or they don't have any power to do anything to you. The same kind of folly why the Most High damn near killed everybody again when Moses had came down with the 10 Commandments, because they were doing what? Worship a golden calf, something that cannot move, man. Something they built themselves to worship. A golden calf did not put 10 plagues on Egypt to deliver them from the hands of the Egyptians. Verse 6, for as much as there is none like unto you, O Yahweh, you are great and your name is great in might. Means that there is no other gods but the Most High. So when you look back and you look at these different supposed holidays, like Brother Daniel likes to say, right, you got to look and see what these things are attached to. Right, these things are all attached to some kind of Nimrod, Sol Invictus, right, and all these other false gods that comes from the back.
That's right. Let me show you something right quick. Now I want you to take a very close look at this. All right. Now these are all the ritual pagan holidays, ancient holidays. Now you have, of course, you have Christmas, which is pretty much a world. Everybody celebrates that. New Year's, everybody celebrates that. Thanksgiving, that's a U.S. thing. They don't celebrate that in other countries, because when I was in Germany, they don't even acknowledge Thanksgiving. But we already know what that's all about. St. Patrick's Day, you have Independence Day, of course. And then you have the other days. Now, when you talk about Christmas, especially New Year's and Christmas, that are so tied to these ancient rituals, everything that they were doing in the past, they're still doing today. Nothing has really changed. Just like Solomon says, there's nothing new under the sun. All right. It's just disguised under another name now. And if you look up the Christian church back in the late 1800s and the early 1900s, did you know that the Christian churches, they didn't celebrate Christmas at all, or New Year's, because they knew that, the old heads knew that it was pagan. It wasn't until during the 1930s where it started to creep back in to the church and started to gain momentum, and it just gained steam from since then, and it's been an onward thing. So you have so many people that's into it. But again, you have to understand and go back to the origins of Christmas. All right, Krampus, all that stuff. It's all from the devil.
God.
This is why the Most High told us specifically: do not bow down to or serve any of these idols. Because remember, Most High says, I am a jealous God. All right. And when we divert, our worship from God to these other entities, well, guess what? He's gonna let these entities rule over you, just like he did in the past. All right. I want to show you something else too. When you look at 25 December, let me hide this right quick. When you look at 25 December, what is 25 December? The church celebrates this as the birth of Christ, but we know that it has nothing. The 25th of December has nothing to do with the birth of Christ. Find me one verse in the scripture where the Most High celebrated his birth or his death. All right. If you look up 25 December, it was the birth date of the sun god Tammuz. So you can see here in this representation passed down through the century. All right. The birth of Tammuz was the 25th of December. And this thing has been celebrated for thousands of years. So think of all the pagan holidays from ancient times until this very day. You got to understand, nothing has really been lost. It's just been disguised under different names throughout the centuries. But it's still the same idols, no matter how you slice it up. And our people are so caught up in this stuff that, you know, when you don't take the time to research, that's willful ignorance. And the Most High is not going to excuse willful ignorance. All right. That's why it's a shame, because you can tell our people until you're blue in the face. And you know, the sad part about it, they can even see it and they will even agree with you. Some of them, and then turn around and be back at the in-laws' house with a plate of pork on their plate, sitting in front of a Christmas tree. I mean, it's insane, y'all. And the only way our people are going to get this is that they got to put the work in. You know what I'm saying? It's up to us. It's up to you all, brothers and sisters, to do this research. Don't just celebrate something you don't even know what the hell you're celebrating. And I knew we all grew up, you know, from birth. You know, we grew up in the land of our captives. So, you know, we were used to this kind of stuff growing up. That's all we were taught. That's all you saw. And it's wild. All right. Still there?
Oh, come man, my bad. I was talking the whole time, man. Salakia.
Oh,
right, you
you're muted. Yeah, like you're muted.
Yeah, Khan. Hey, you see where it says Samarius and Tammuz, right? Well, there's a history behind that, right? And so let me bring this up real quick. Hold up, Khan.
Bring it up.
Khan. Let me bring this up real quick. Which one is this one? I don't bring out all that also. I don't know if y'all can see it. Let me fatten this up real quick. All right. So here it says after Nimrod's death, right?
Hold on. Let me bring this off. Let me take this off right quick. There you go.
Oh, Khan.
Go ahead and bring it up.
Khan. It says after Nimrod's death, right? Semiramis promoted the belief that he was a god, right? She claimed that she saw a full-grown every tree spring out of the roots of a dead tree stump, symbolizing the springing forth of the new life for Nimrod. On the anniversary of his birth, she said Nimrod would visit the evergreen tree and leave gifts under it. His birthday fell on the winter solstice at the end of December, right? So that's pretty much, you know, like another a part of the little history lore that they have that's really concerning that whole thing. And then even in the scriptures, down in Ezekiel, right? It talks about, let me bring this up real quick. It talks about, you know, how that's also related to Tammuz. When it says, and he brought me to the door, we're going to start at verse 14. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north. Right now, this is during the time when they had snatched Ezekiel, you know, when Ezekiel was snatched up in the air. right? And it says, and it came to pass that in the 6th year, in the 6th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I sat in my house, and the elders of Judah sat before me, that the hand of the Lord God fell there upon me. Then I beheld, and lo, a likeness as the appearance of fire, from the appearance of the loins even downward fire, and from his loins even upward, even as the appearance of brightness in the color of amber, which is brown, right? So you got to see that, like when he's looking at the Lord, right? The appearance of the Lord is, I don't know, like if you've seen, the Lord has a fiery glow all the way around him, right? And then he sees the the color of amber in the background of the fire. And then it says, then he put forth the hand, and he took me by the lock of my head, and lifted, and the Spirit lifted me up between the earth and the heaven, and he brought me in the visions of God to Jerusalem, to the door of the inner gate that looked toward the north, and there was the seat of the image of jealousy, which provoked to jealousy, right? The image of jealousy, which provoked to jealousy. So this is just pretty much a vision that we're saying that's going down right here, that Ezekiel is being shown here, right? So then when we started verse 14, when it talks about Tammuz, and we're finishing up the vision, it says, then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. And then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these. And he brought me into the inner court, right? And see, like, why are the women and there sat women waiting for Tammuz? Then he said unto me, thou hast seen the Son of Man, yet turn again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these. And he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house, and behold, at the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar, there were about 25 men, and their backs were toward the temple of the east, and their face was towards the east, and they worshipped the sun toward the east. Toward the east. Why? Because it's the same thing. They were trying to wait for the return of the sun god, which was supposed to be Tammuz, which is the same thing, which is also dealt with the sun, Sol Invictus, which dates back to the Roman Empire, in which how they start this same old thing all over again. These people are just damn wicked. And then you got people, all around the world. They got these Christmas trees in the living room with these presents underneath it. They don't even understand that they're enacting a ritual to try to bring back the sun god Tammuz.
That's right. Call them the Nimrod trees, because that's where it originated from. It's because Nimrod was supposedly to be a decorated individual. So that would represent, and that would make sense why you would decorate a Christmas tree. Man, I'm telling you, this rabbit hole goes really deep, y'all. And what brother read in Ezekiel too, it just goes to show you that even our people were still dealing with that stuff back in the day. So what does that tell you about these holidays? They've always existed. All right. And each generation of our people have always, not all our people, all our people didn't go for that, and Ezekiel was one of them. He had to rebuke, he had to rebuke, so did Jeremiah, so did Isaiah. All right. Because, it was during a time where our people were being extremely wicked, and they were, they were worshiping the heathens' idols, bowing down to them. It's like them women that were sitting before the porch weeping for Tammuz. What the hell are you doing?
Look at that, right? And then who does that look like right there? Right, that looks like the Statue of Liberty. Right, that looks like the same thing.
Can you blow it up a little bit?
Con. Let me see. That thing looks like the Statue of Liberty right there, right? I don't know if I can blow it up any more than this.
Okay.
Yeah, but it looks like the Statue of Liberty. You know what I'm saying? Right. A lot of these things, right? And these folks got this stuff in the middle of New York, right? Look at that right there. Sol Invictus, the same thing, right? Yeah. These heathen got you around here, right? So now think about it. And what does it go back to? Right? What does it go back to? It goes back to the what? Sol Invictus was the Roman sun god. Who started the Roman? The Catholic Church is what? Started by the Romans, right? And then what did they? What they create? in all areas, and everything branches. All these little secular religions, right? They all branch off from Roman Catholicism, Christianity, all of that stuff. Where in the world does it say in the scriptures that Hamashiach was freezing in the manger in the middle of winter? It doesn't say that. Where does it say to celebrate a birthday? It said that Hamashiach was going up near Passover during the time of his birthday or something like that, right? When he was born up in Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
Which so that's near the spring.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Which would make sense if you have, the Hamashiach always symbolizes new, right? A new birth, right? This is why you get baptized. You get, you get baptized by the word. You change your ways, right? You become a new man.
Yep.
You're able to beat death by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments.
And what is the first month? The month of Abib. That's why we celebrate the Passover.
Yeah. God.
During that month, because it is a new year. It's a new month. All right.
Nothing about these holidays pertain, right? Nothing about the spirit of these holidays. The more you search, you don't find Hamashiach in there. You don't find the law, statutes, and commandments in here. You find paganism. You find wickedness. Things you shouldn't be doing, and you don't even know why you're doing it. You over there around the tree, you got Christmas. Oh, it's not that bad if we just hang out with our families. Oh, but it is that bad.
Exactly. And I hate when people say that too, because they'll say, well, yeah, I know that it's pagan. I know that it's not in the scriptures, but I use it to communicate with my family. I use it for fellowship. With that the case, then, you might as well just go ahead and bow down to him. How can Satan cast out Satan?
God.
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's no way to cut it. You can't justify something good out of trying to compromise with the pagan holidays. You just can't. You can say all these things. Well, I'm just using it for good. I'm not looking at I'm just chewing the meat and spitting out the bones. Oh, it don't work that way. What did the Most High say? He says, do not serve them nor bow down to them. He says, do not even let the names of these idols come on your lips.
God.
I mean, it's either do or don't, y'all. You can't have it both ways. You can't justify it. And too many of our people, they'll try to justify, this in order to keep peace with their family members.
Yeah, God. And what does the Most High say? He didn't come to bring peace. He came to bring war. That's right.
Exactly.
He bring a sword. And the sword of truth.
10, Matthew chapter 10. That's right. He says, I come to set father against son, against mother, against daughter. He come to cause you to try to make peace with your family in order to compromise so you can celebrate these wicked holidays.
God. Doesn't make sense, Israel. Like, this is not our traditions. Like, and then the sad thing about it is you got to realize that your ancestors, right, were killed, beat down, flogged, tarred and feathered to celebrate these holidays, to put this in our people that we feel a need to have to celebrate these traditions that are not born of our people.
That's right. Man, we have a plethora of, look, y'all have no idea, man, like how blessed we are that the Almighty has given us feast days that we can celebrate. And see, and the good thing about these feast days, they tell a story of the life of the Hamashiach and how he's going to deliver his people. I mean, look at this. I mean, look, we got the first month of Abib, all right? And I just got the calendar up here. We got our new moons, all right? What you need to celebrate Christmas for? What do you need to celebrate these other holidays for? We got the weekly Shabbat, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We got Pentecost. And each month we have a new moon feast that you can get together with your family members. All right. And then we have the Feast of Trumpets. All right. We got the Day of Atonement. We got the Feast of Tabernacles. And we have 7 feasts that we can truly enjoy throughout the year, including the weekly Shabbats and the monthly new moons. It's a beautiful thing, y'all. But yet our people, it's like, dang, y'all want to. It's like they want us to serve their idols. I mean, I don't understand that. When we have the Torah, we have the laws, commandments, and statutes. I mean, we have the greatest power on earth, right before us, man. But our people, they would rather sacrifice and give up their birthright and just serve the other nations' idols. You know, that's the craziest thing.
Okay.
Yep.
It says in Baruch chapter 4 verse 1, it says, "This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever."
Forever.
Right? "All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as shall leave it shall die." Nowhere in the scriptures does it tell you to celebrate Christmas. That's not a holy day. Right? That's not a holy day in the scriptures. That's a day that's made up by the heathens, which is considered pagan, something that you should not be celebrating. "Turn thee, O Jacob," that's every single one of you that comes from the bloodline of Jacob, "and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, and thou mayest be illuminated." Right now, we're living in the darkness. We're not illuminated on the earth. Everybody looks at us and thinks that black is wicked, right? We're not the black that shines. "Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation." But our people as a whole, these niggas then gave the Bible to these heathen. Right? You over there, you're in these Christian churches with these heathen, celebrating with these heathen something that does not belong to them, because you have given what? You have given your honor to another.
Yep.
You have given things that are profitable unto you and to a strange nation. It says, "O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to God are made known unto us." Because what? The law, statutes, and the commandments and the scriptures are only given to Israel on top of Mount Sinai. They weren't given to the world.
That's right.
We're the only ones supposed to know how to make the Lord happy. Nah, but y'all don't want to do that though. Y'all rather the heathen, celebrate these. Y'all want to go to the heathen church and let the white man tell you how to celebrate your God. "Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved God to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemies." Damn. I still ain't learned.
And how you think he feels now especially when he sees our people, especially after they've been told and warned about this wickedness, but yet they still do it.
I'm bringing it out.
It's like brother brought out earlier. At the bottom of Mount Sinai, Moses was just gone for a few days, for 40 days. wasn't even gone for a couple of days, and these niggas started just going crazy. And that, after seeing the 10 plagues, after seeing all these miracles, after crossing over the sea and just seeing the walls of water, walking on dry land, seeing all of the host of Pharaoh's army, including Pharaoh himself, drowned in the sea, to turn around and offer up a golden calf to go back to Egypt. When are you going back there? They done been destroyed. That's how delusional they were. But our people are just so entrenched in being wicked. Just like the scripture says, our people are a stiff-necked people.
God. Y'all be out there, spending your last dollar, going broke on Christmas. You think that's a blessing? You think that's something to do? Do you actually think that's something smart to do? It says, "For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to God." That's what y'all doing on Christmas. For ye have forgotten the everlasting God that brought you up, and ye have grieved the Jerusalem that nursed you. Because we have gotten kicked out of Jerusalem. We have yet to return. We got heathens dwelling in our land. Jerusalem is still grieved. The world has to be destroyed because us and our bloodline refuse to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God and the faith in Hamashiach. For when she saw the wrath of God coming upon you, she said, hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion, God hath brought up upon me great mourning, for I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them.
That's right.
With joy did I nourish them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning. Let no man rejoice over me, a widow, a forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the law of God. They knew not his statutes, nor walked in his ways of his commandments, nor trod in the paths of discipline in his righteousness. Let them that dwell about Zion come, and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting has brought upon them. Do we remember it? Are we remembering the captivity? No. We're out here dancing around the Christmas tree, talking about Santa Claus, Krampus, elves. Yeah. Jolly Saint Nick, some fat white man coming down your
reindeers.
chimney. Reindeers. It's folly, man. You know what I mean? Folly. And brothers out here on their last check. For he hath brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strange language, who neither reverence old man nor pity child. These have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone desolate without daughters. But what can I help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies, which means God is the one that's bringing these plagues upon us. And the only way for us to get God to rescue us, because he's the only person that can. Y'all got the hey, next year, man. Y'all been don't get a Christmas tree. You know, get on your family members about getting it. Right? They shouldn't feel comfortable around you or telling you Merry Christmas or anything like that. If you're truly keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, they shouldn't feel comfortable about that. Right? It says, go your way, O my children, go your way, for I am left desolate. I have put off the clothing of peace and have put upon me the sackcloth of my prayer. I will cry unto the everlasting in my days. Be of good cheer, O my children. Cry unto the Lord, and he will deliver you from the power and the hand of the enemies. For my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you. And joy is coming to me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting, our Savior.
That's right.
So salvation is on the way, right? But you got to read between the lines and see that it's not for everyone. Blood up to the horse's bridle. Death and destruction. Man, you think it was bad last time, man? Just think about it, right? I want y'all to think about this. So the Most High, he gave Hamashiach the power to make the world. And then he has to sacrifice himself, right? For, his favorite people. And then on top of that, his creation, right? Hamashiach's creation is running wild with wickedness down here. And the Most High God is telling him, hold up now. We can't correct it just yet. You got to hold on for a minute. Don't you know how, I mean, just imagine the amount of carnage that's going to come to fruition when Hamashiach comes back. I'll be extremely mad about the situation that's going down here on the earth. I will be ready to rectify all wickedness and destroy everything from the sight of my Father that made me. Y'all think it's a game out here, man. I promise you it's not. I think it's little, you know, hey, a lot of y'all might think it's okay that, you know, hey, man, it's just a little Christmas time. It's just a little Thanksgiving. It's just a little 4th of July. I'm just out here. Fourth of July, 1776. Your folks are still getting their backs beat in. What the hell are you doing out there anyway? A lot of our people need to wake up. Come out of the ways of these heathen.
One thing I got to say about these old crazy holidays.
Stupid.
Oh man.
But that's what they are.
Bro. That's it. I mean, same thing, you know, Israel. We just got to stay vigilant during these times. It may seem good on the outside, but we just got to stay vigilant and keep these commandments. Don't get caught up in the spirit of Christmas where it seems like it's all fine and dandy on the outside and everybody just smiling and having fun and sucking on candy canes.
And this is why you got to be the strong one for your family members too. And don't bow, no matter what, don't bow into pressure. Just because you feel like you want to keep peace. You know, obedience is better than sacrifice. If you don't believe, go ask Saul when he tried to sacrifice and keep the goodlies, you know. See what happened to him. Most High didn't ask us to sacrifice. He asked us to be obedient. Period.
That's right.
He didn't ask us to compromise. He told us to be obedient. Point blank. It's not hard to do. It's not rocket scientists. It's just our people just make it harder than what it is. But really, obedience is not hard at all. It's hard for our people because they don't want to do it. They don't want to be that one that stand out like a sore thumb. They don't want to be out. They don't want to be the troublemaker. Yeah, you got to be a troublemaker. you got to stir up some. You got to stir up some mess. Make them talk about you.
They ain't gonna like it.
Nope.
Yeah.
So that's all I want to. That's all I want to say. You know, to that matter.
So Israel, be encouraged, right?
Yeah.
You know, just be encouraged that you're doing the right thing. It may seem like, oh, you know, you're ostracized or something like that right now, but I promise you, you are not. You're doing the right thing, Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Be encouraged, brothers, sisters.
Yep. And like I said, just don't give in. No matter what your family members say about you, don't, you know, hey, you being obedient, that's all that's going to matter. It don't care what they're going to, don't care what they say, what they do. Hey, my family members, they already know. They already know what it is with me. So, you know, they don't mess with me. All right. But hey, that's okay because, you know, I'm obedient to the Most High. I can care less about their words, what they think. Don't care. Yeah.
And it's not a vanity. It's not for vain. You're not doing none of this stuff in vain. You gotta remember the scriptures,
Exactly.
The Bible itself is the only book that has stood the test of time. Prophecies have always come to fruition. This is the only book that has lasted. This is the truth. This is our truth.
Yep.
All right, Israel. That's it for me. Shalom. Stay encouraged. Right. Stay in the scriptures. Right. Hey, when it's your time to have your holy days, hey, celebrate. You know, make a big thing about it. You know, it's like you know, like so you don't feel, you know, like it's supposed to be anyway, right? Because that's what's called a feast. It's a festival. Supposed to have a good time, right? Get everything decorated up and y'all have a blast.
That's right. And you know, our next feast here, let's bring it up right quick. Matter of fact, you know what? While we're on the here, let me show you when the next moon's going to be here. So remember, December 31st is going to be the new moon sunset. So Tuesday. So Wednesday is the first. Will be the new moon. So just remember, make sure you guys mark that. And then we got January new moon is going to be the 30th sunset of the 11th month. I mean, the 17th of the 11th month. And then we go into Purim. And then we'll be ready for the new calendar. So,
right. So y'all always get ready to celebrate. Get your families together, those who keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. So just, just surprise them. Just, have y'all, just try to make up something so that you'll just get them together. And then you just be, you have a little celebration there. You explain it to them, something like that. Just get them into practice of trying to celebrate this little time with you. Just how they try to say for you to, you want to celebrate their little days, man, they don't know what's going on. Just get them over there.
Yep.
Once you get them over there, man, everybody likes to have a little celebration time. You know what it is, right? And then when it's time for you to do the toast or whatever, then you'll be like, I toast this to the Most High God. This is a great day of our, according to the scriptures, going to that. And then next thing you know, hey, just like how the heathens got you tricked I'm not saying do it like that, but hey, we got to start somewhere, right? We got to start somewhere.
That's actually being creative, though, because, once they see it, then it's like, oh, man, I didn't know the feast was like this.
That's right. Out there just having a ball with your peoples. Right. Be creative, thought, think of things, have stuff organized, have a scripture reading the time, when they come down, just, do things like that. Don't be, don't be a nigga. I should say it like that. Use your mind, use the gifts that the Lord, that the Most High has given you, and try to spread the word to your people, right? Positively. The feast days will be a great way to introduce, people to the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, tell them, hey, I'm having a little small get together. If you feel like coming over this day, see if you can do this, whatever. All right. That's my little advice.
All right, Yasharel. Well, hey, we're gonna bid you a hearty shalom.
Stay strong, Israel. Stay strong.
All right. See you soon.